to that.
Okay, yeah, I won't. Okay. Thanksgiving recap. The misery state that we're in right now. And then,
Do you want me to start this one?
are we starting yet?
Yeah, you guys are good to go.
Not the clap.
I don't know why I clapped. Okay. You can start this one. I'm hurting.
Guys, welcome back to yet another episode of Codependence. It's your girl Maya here with my bestie Sierra Miller. We are hurting today. It is a tough day for the women. You know, periods are perioding quite hard.
Dude, I will throw up right here, right now.
And just so everyone knows, if she throws up, I throw up, and that will be the end of this show. I can't handle puke.
No, I literally had to stop and get a ginger ale because first, I just feel like every time I turn my head, I get so nauseous.
You're actually making me nervous.
No, I'm just gonna. If you hear deep breathing,
That's why I have a piece of gum in my
it's
mouth,
me.
which is bad for
Oh,
podcasting, but it's good for like the
it's
flavor.
the mint.
Do
will
would you
help
like
you
some mint?
Yeah, maybe I have an alcohol wipe too in my purse.
And what is that gonna do?
That helps with like nausea as well.
Really?
Well, that's what we would do in the hospital. You take an alcohol wipe because if you know you're about to like smell something real bad, something nasty, you take a alcohol wipe and you put it on the inside of your your mask.
That feels like that would make me puke.
It's distracting. Well, either that or like a GI bleed. You ever smelled a GI bleed?
No, I actually don't even know what that is.
A
GI.
a gastrointestinal
Yeah.
bleed,
Like what does that mean?
I don't know. I feel like it's self-explanatory. Like you know,
blood?
Yeah, it's like when someone has like an ulcer or something and it's bleeding into
Like
your
from their asshole?
it can be lower. It depends on where it is. Like if it's higher in the intestines.
Can I ask you, does this make you less nauseous talking about this? 'Cause
Actually,
it feels like
it's distracting. So yes, if it's higher in the intestines, like if it's higher in the intestines, it's had time to like go through the GI tract and it's smellier. And it stinks. Like blood, like a person shitting out blood smells so fucking bad, and it's such a distinct like mercury, iron smelling rot. It's just gross.
Is the
But yeah.
stool bloody?
Yeah, and gelatinous.
Oh, okay. You know, it's funny because we like had an episode breakdown, like, you know, a little guide on what to talk about today, and that just like didn't fit the bill. Who knew?
Well, it's bleeding, but like out of a different hole. We plan to talk about. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, I'm getting better. I think the nausea's helping. It's
Just a
just
little
distract
GI
me.
bleeding
Just
talk to get you
distract
going.
me. Well, okay. How was your Thanksgiving?
You know, I'm trying to look at the positives. The food was really good. I cooked a great meal.
That's good to hear.
Like, I'm proud of my meal. I think it was one of our best. It was just the four of us, so my parents and my sister. We have had some existing drama, if you will. Like, not everyone was on exact speaking terms, so even getting to like the idea of Thanksgiving was a little bit like, ooh, are we gonna
Shaky.
make it?
Yeah. No, I get it.
And we made it until we
Didn't. Did you guys fight?
Yeah, we got into what I would call one of the absolute worst fights I've ever had with my sister.
Like a World War III.
Yeah. It was bad. There's like so much happening in the house as it was. Everyone has their own emotions, their own feelings going on.
I'm convinced that a house full of girls is just chaos, bad news. Nothing really good can come from it except grandchildren and like
we're not even working on that in our house.
Like
so it's
a house full of girls, recipe for disaster.
So,
and I say that given I was a house full of girls.
My family has this like unspoken rule. I guess it's spoken. We talk about it, like 3-day max. Let's hang out for 3 days and let's end it there. Like good things can happen in those 3 days. Usually no fights happen within the first 3 days. Everyone's on their like decent behavior. It's better that way. However, we we should have known. Like, we knew the rule. I went home on Saturday before Thanksgiving. So that was like 5 days before the actual holiday. So
Oh,
we're
wow.
already over the rule. And my mom just happened to be in New York. She'd driven there. I wanted to
Yeah.
go home with the dogs. It just made sense for us to go home together at that time. My sister also joined in. So it was everybody in the house for those 5 days before the actual holiday, or 4, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So like things were already brewing.
Right.
And then it just went completely left. Like completely left.
Yeah, when it starts to turn, girl, it's going sharp turn. Like,
I really like
in my household,
I'm
for sure.
upset at myself because I didn't really see the sharp turn happening. I was like, okay, like we're gonna get through it. It's gonna be okay. Like we
Yeah.
might have had like a little something. Then we had a family meeting on like the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. You know, like my mom sent the text to the group chat being like, family meeting at this time, meet at the dining table.
Everyone take their meds.
I'm the only one that takes meds. So like my meds were
Okay.
taken. But like that meeting went well. Maybe because I wasn't the focus. Although I did get involved and I did say some things, but I feel like overall it was like moving forward. Like there was forward movement.
Okay. So no one stayed in the mud of it, and
Yes.
like no one left not speaking to each other.
Correct. Everyone, like I
Yeah.
got left in a better place than they started from that meeting. So I was like,
So do you feel like it was productive?
yeah,
Okay.
I
Cool.
do. That was that meeting. And like even then,
This is just the family meeting.
that was
huh?
just Tuesday. That was
Okay.
just Tuesday. That was really because like Lexi and my dad had been going through some things. We just wanted to be able to have you know, an easy holiday. So we
Yeah.
were like, let's figure out that stuff before we try to actually have a holiday.
Yeah.
But then on the holiday itself, things had been brewing beforehand with me and my sister for sure. We just don't get along. Like we're very different. We have complete opposite personalities. We interpret things very differently. We feel things very differently. We're also both highly sensitive. Like you said one thing recently that has actually stuck with me and I now make it about myself.
What?
You were like, I'm highly sensitive and I'm
What? Highly emotional?
highly emotional and like sensitive. You said
Yeah.
that on one of our podcasts and I was listening to it back recently and I was
Yeah.
like, you know, me too.
Yeah.
Like, literally
Yeah.
same. And I see that in my sister. So it's like one wrong thing can really turn it.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to respect her privacy, so I won't tell her like what
Yeah, I won't
exactly
tell her
happened.
business
I won't
over
tell her
here.
business like that. But it was a reaction to something that she's going through, and I feel like, well, I basically was like, we've had enough of this conversation. Like, we got to move on
Yeah.
now. And that went to screaming.
Yeah.
And you know the way the house is set up, so it's like
it's loud. Like you have acoustics in your house.
right, because
Yeah.
like we live in like basically it's like a loft style house, so it's like very open. So
Yeah.
she's like screaming at me from the top.
Yeah.
I'm down below.
The catwalk.
Yeah, she's on the catwalk screaming, which already makes me feel like, oh, you're trying to do like a power play. Like I can come up there too, you know, or I'll just raise my voice higher.
I didn't even think about like the power play on like screaming from the catwalk as I've done that many of times and like growing up in my house. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
And this is why I go to Paige's house for Thanksgiving, because I lived that and lived through it, and people still aren't talking to each other. So
Yes.
yeah, I can
I am
relate.
basically you last year.
Yeah, probably a little worse. Mine is a little worse, but
Yeah, because you guys are still working through some things. We
ain't even working through it.
Okay, I was trying
Yeah,
to be-
no, it's okay. Look, we're not even. There's not even a sign of hope. There's no light. We are knee deep in the tunnel,
Mhm.
and
It's dark. It's
yeah,
dark.
it's dark. But that's why I'm like, sisters. You either really love your sister or can't fucking stand her, or it's like the special version of like both, where like sisters hate each other but get along and hate each other get along.
I feel like we're that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, I
getting
feel
al-
like you guys aren't like as bad as sometimes you like paint the
Think?
picture of. Yeah.
But when we fight, like we fight. Like it's like Lexi has said some things about my character that I heard this, and I'm literally never going to get over it. Like I'm telling you that right now. I'm not a Capricorn, but I'll never forget that. And like, I don't know if that's gonna need to be addressed, or we just have to like let bygones be bygones. But like, I'm sitting in that.
Would you ever do
feeling.
like a family therapy session, or have
Listen,
you guys done
I
it?
am the first to say, let's all do therapy.
I was that in my family too.
I have tried in so many ways. Not even like I haven't really suggested like a group therapy, but I have suggested therapy with like individual members of my family with me and somebody else. And it doesn't even have to be my therapist. I think that makes more sense for someone that's like not biased. But I do feel like it took a long time to even get people warmed up to the idea of therapy in my house. Like, I do feel like in some ways I grew up at the stereotypical like Black household where it's like, you don't need therapy, you're Black.
Yeah.
And
well, Black people don't talk about anything.
Right.
Everything's a secret.
Yeah. And like, you want to keep like keep your family drama internal and like, you don't want to like share it with other people for risk of judgment or whatever. It's like, we're already fighting so much judgment. So we have to protect ourselves in some way. I just don't believe in that. So
well, it's just kind of outdated. It's like that's kind of more of like our parents' generation, and our generation is like mental health friendly and like let's figure it out and try not to pass on our generational trauma.
Yeah. Which I think that in itself can even feel offensive to our parents' generation because they're like, well, you're acting like we didn't do everything right or whatever. It's like, it's not
so
that.
You didn't. You didn't. Okay?
I'm not saying all of that because I value my life, but like.
No, but I think, like I always say, like, I'm not trying to insult you, like my parents, but yes, inevitably, and I will too, you fuck up your kids in some way. It's not intentional. No. You did the best that you can.
You are just a human.
Yeah, you are just human. There are some things that are out of your control and some things within your control that you didn't realize, you know, outside of your own perspective, how it could affect, you know, the people around you. That's something that's a normal thing. But doesn't mean I wasn't involved in that experience or I wouldn't have a trauma to go along with it. Like, and trauma doesn't always have to be associated with like it, and it typically is like something super negative. It's literally just kind of like an event. Yeah, it's an event and how I developed like coping mechanisms around that particular event or around that particular person and how that formed me and shaped me and how I'm trying to at least like break myself from that mold, you know? Yeah.
That was beautiful.
I'm just saying, like, I think that, like, our parents' generation and my parents, like, yeah, it does. I guess maybe it feels a little aggressive to them, but it's not if you would just fucking talk about it.
Right. And that's how I feel. Yeah. But it seems like there's always, like, a wall of defense that I'm met with before even getting a breakthrough at some point.
Totally.
And, I also know that the way that I communicate, like, I don't really give a lot of positive reinforcement, something I'm working on. So it's like, that's clearly something that needs to be heard in my house for any real growth to be had. But sometimes it's like, can't you just express yourself? And like, do I have to coddle you while trying to express myself? I don't know the answer. It's just something I've been thinking through.
Yeah. I would say, like, there was not a lot of coddling in my household. Like, very little coddling. That's why I'm not very good at coddling the emotions around an argument. I'm like, it is what it is. Like, I can't hold your hand through it, you know?
Yeah, I do know.
Yeah, I'll fucking just, when I'm there, I'm pissed and I'm saying it. Like, yeah, but we are also not really solving any family issues in my family. We're tucking them away and then not speaking to each other for a few years. So that's why I go to Paige's house. And honestly, pleasant Thanksgiving.
Well, look at that.
We only fight about Family Feud. Craig. We fight Craig. And then sometimes her dad yells at Gary. And it's fucking hilarious.
There you go. Yeah. To me, that's how Thanksgiving should be.
Light, easy, breezy. Also, I just want to, if anyone doesn't know this, Paige has like the most mom of all moms who like loves to just
be a mom,
make a tablescape, like fucking cook everything. She is just,
I feel like that's how you'll be.
I honestly want to kind of be like her. Yeah.
I think if I had kids, I would try to be that type of mom too.
Yeah. Like, she made us the cutest.
It's kind of like Hallmark-esque.
It's very Hallmark, and I love it. it's just like a contrast of like going home, and I love it's hard to get my mom to make me bacon, and Mama Kim will like pack us these to-go bags with like ham and cheese croissants that she's made, like to-go food from Thanksgiving, a plate, and then like the epic Thanksgiving sandwich after, and it's just
I'm like actually very jealous.
like dude, also not to mention I hadn't talked to Paige in a week like leading up to going to Thanksgiving, and I was like, all right, well, and I try to call her, she doesn't answer her phone, whatever. I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll just
take the train.
see you at your own crib. Like, and a part of me felt kind of weird because I was like, dude, we haven't even talked about me coming to her family Thanksgiving, and then I'm talking to her mom, and I'm like talking to Gary, her brother. I'm like, all right, my train gets in at 11. I bought my ticket.
Can someone pick me up?
Who's picking me up? Gary picked me up from the train station. I'm like, where's Paige? Gary's like, I actually don't know. We have no idea where she is. She could be in Delaware. She
wasn't even there yet?
She wasn't there yet. So then the next morning I wake up, go and like...
Wait, you slept a whole night and no Paige?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the next morning I wake up at like 12:30. I go downstairs and me and her mom have like tea and have just like chat and whatnot. And then I sit on the couch. Her mom brings me a blanket. I'm like, where is Paige? At this point, I haven't even texted her because I'm like, I'm moving in. And if she never comes,
I also
that's
know
fine.
that your like love language with parents is sitting on a couch and being tucked in a blanket. Because I've seen it with my own eyes.
Her mom brings me this blanket and she goes, honey, you can't lay on the couch without a blanket.
That is true.
I'm like, oh my God, silly me, you're so right.
Sierra came to my house one time. My dad is like preparing soup for her. Everyone else is chatting in the other room. Sierra like retires to the couch.
Yeah, that was like after my second mimosa. I had to go lay down.
The mimosa.
I got sleepy.
And I just like look over, and my dad is not just like draping a blanket. He's like literally tucking like the neck. He's like tucking at her neck, making sure that there's no cold air getting to this woman. And I'm like, I know for a fact this man has never done this for me. And then you look at Sierra and make eye contact and you have a fucking shit-eating grin on your face. You're eating the shit up. Like, you cannot get enough of it.
Oh, man. Talk about one thing I love. I love going to a parent's house. Yes, I do. I just want to be looked after, cared for, coddled. Yes,
listen, my parents were trying to send you plates of, like, because we've been making a lot of soups at home. So they're like, let's send all the soup to Sierra.
Yeah.
And my dad goes, no, she needs to come back and see me before she gets any more soup. So you got nothing.
Oh, my gosh. That's great. I just love being at a parents' homes. It's just
other parents.
Yeah,
homes. You need to specify.
Yeah, I need to specify. I need to specify. Oh my God. Yeah. Ugh. What a joyous fucking time. We played Family Feud. We play Family Feud every year after. This is my third Thanksgiving with Paige's family also. And we play Family Feud after every Thanksgiving dinner.
How many people come to this dinner? Like,
this year was like 12.
Well,
so like her cousins, her family, and then me and Craig. You know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Girls lost to Family Feud, and I will say I've never seen Paige in such a like I'm gonna punch you like aggressive type of stance.
Actually,
over
like
a game.
That was really good.
What?
I've seen her do that.
Yeah. And like even I was kind of like, all right. She got up from the table and was like, you guys aren't even playing fair. Like, this isn't fair. Like, I don't want to play with you guys.
The Scorpio came out.
So funny. And then me and her mom were having a heart-to-heart. And I guess, like, she was upstairs with Craig. Me and her mom are having a heart-to-heart on, like, a Saturday night before we were going out for dinner. And I guess she just like felt it upstairs and just couldn't handle that we were having a heart connecting.
Like, was there jealousy?
Perhaps. I feel like it was because she comes down the stairs and all of a sudden we just hear fucking
stomp.
And she just goes, oh, and her mom and I get up immediately. She fucking fell down the stairs.
Oh, she pulled a Maya.
She fell down the stairs, and her mom goes, oh, you couldn't handle me talking to Sierra.
She knew.
And I was like, oh my God, you threw yourself down the stairs.
Just for attention.
Like,
I get it, though.
Very original. I get it. Like, I'm not
I'm not mad at it,
I'm
honestly.
not really moving in here, but I will. No, she actually ended up really hurting herself, kind of. A huge bruise on her hip. But I just felt it was so very dramatic of her.
And what is shocking about that?
True. Yeah, it is one of the most dramatic things that I've seen. I was like, wow, you threw yourself down the stairs. I was like, honestly.
She probably had Craig push her.
I was like, honestly, I need to level up. No, he comes down. It's kind of funny. She fell down the stairs. We come over. Craig comes down. It's like she's never fallen down the stairs before. And everyone just like ran to her side. And I was like, do you want some water? How can we help you? Meanwhile, you fall downstairs.
Was it like she fell and was crying, or she fell and she was laughing because it was so crazy?
No, well, I was trying to hold back my laughter.
Well, we know that. Because, like, you literally, I've seen you in those moments, too.
She fell down the stairs. I was, like, trying to contain my laughter because, like, her mom wasn't laughing. And she didn't ever start laughing. So I was like, okay,
maybe this isn't a laughing moment.
Maybe this isn't a laughing moment. But bitch, you just fucking ate shit on like the last stairs. On the last stair. I don't know. Yeah. We didn't laugh about it the next day either yet, but
I'm here to laugh with
yeah.
you. So
Now that I think about it, I was like, damn, we never did debrief that.
The holiday season is upon us, and I know I, for one, don't consider myself a great gift giver. But ever since I've started shopping at Uncommon Goods, my gifts are the talk of the town. If you want to hear where'd you get that this holiday season, Uncommon Goods is your secret weapon. Uncommon Goods is here to make your holiday shopping stress-free by scoring the globe for the most remarkable and truly unique gifts for everybody on your list. Whether you're shopping for your secret Santa or your entire family, Uncommon Goods knows exactly what they want. For years, I've been buying their personalized socks for friends. I'm able to personalize them with names, but also a great little mantra for the day. That gift is always a hit. And I recently ordered the personalized Hearts 4-Cross game as a gift to my immediate family because we love playing games together after a holiday meal. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the US. They have the most meaningful and out-of-the-ordinary gifts anywhere, from art and jewelry to kitchen and home and bar. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 back to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $2.5 million to date. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/codpod. That's uncommongoods.com/CODPOD for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer.
Anyway.
Okay, so you had a lovely Thanksgiving. What are your plans for Christmas? Obviously, you're not going home.
No, I actually think I'm going to skip Christmas and I'm going to go to Portugal.
Does mom know you're skipping Christmas?
She
Cool.
does now.
Cool.
Yeah. She does now. I think I'm going to go to Portugal. There's like another retreat that I found similar to the Costa Rica one, but I think I'm going to try something new.
Same company, though? Did we?
No.
Okay.
Like completely different. But it's like a holistic yoga type of retreat.
How long?
I want to go for 2 weeks. So through the new year.
I'm sorry. I just have to bring up last year's retreat. Because
Go
when
for
you
it.
went to Costa Rica, you were like, Maya, we are not going to be speaking for 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, I think I can handle this. Then, do you remember what got me speaking to you?
Oh, yeah. You texted me Superhead?
Superhead, apparently.
Superhead,
Then
yeah.
it came out that, like,
Who is Superset?
Superset is somebody. Anyway, there was like a large rumor going around that like an ex of mine had impregnated an ex video vixen. And I was like, get Sierra.
I know. I remember looking at my phone. I put it down because I had to go do something. It was like yoga or something.
I think
Then
I just sent you the article.
Yeah,
even.
you did. And then I came back and I was like, but I never really knew who that was. So
It didn't even really matter who it
But
was.
it
It
was
could have
just
been anybody.
interesting. Yeah. I mean, I definitely didn't go the 2 weeks without touching my phone because goss.
Yeah, there was a lot to discuss at that time. I'll leave you alone this time.
No, I don't take my phone everywhere I go, but I'll like peek in on it. And like, I think last year I was really trying to unplug. This year I'll do a little bit of both. I might like watch a show or two at night. Like, I would go to bed at like 8:00 at the retreat.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but now that I look back on it, people would go back to their rooms and like watch something. I never did that. I read.
Oh, hell no.
I read a book. I read a book.
Yeah, she's
like
gonna come
4 or
back
5
reading
days.
too. I know. I see it now.
Yeah.
I already know the CR
Dude,
we're gonna deal with in
I
January.
even thought that I was gonna come back, after my retreat and keep reading books and stuff. And I did, but I didn't ever finish it. Like, it was, and I realized why I'm not like a book reader. I can only unplug my brain for so long, and like if I'm going to read a book and actually finish it and comprehend everything that I've read, I need to have nothing else going on. Like, I need to be at a complete and total stage of relaxation,
I can't,
and that's rare.
I can't read and remember what I read like 1 minute ago.
Yeah. No, I know. I know that feeling, because it is very frustrating, because I want to be the type of person who reads fucking books. I want to be that type of intelligent where, I want to unwind at night and I want to read a book and have a little book light and a little bookmark with a little tassel on it. I want to be that bitch.
Have you
but
ever
I
tried
can't.
an audiobook? But I think an audiobook, when you have the physical book to follow along, that's asking a lot. I get it.
Yeah.
But it's like, then you have the audio already, and then you're also reading it. So it's like, where else could your mind really go? It's just a suggestion. You don't have to take it.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that if I'm listening to it,
because you don't even listen to like actual podcasts.
no. Yeah. I am kind of a strange creature. Like, noise doesn't serve me sometimes. But I feel like I've done this to myself and I don't know how to get out of it. Because I even like my Spotify like countdown or whatever, Wrapped, it said I only listened to like 2,000 minutes worth of songs.
I actually think we should compare ours at one point.
Which is like very low. Like,
and mine was like high. Because I literally have audio going at all times.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to sit in silence ever.
Yeah.
I don't even sleep in silence.
Yeah, I don't get how you do that.
I only sleep in silence if I'm next to another human.
Do you think I could be like autistic?
I literally asked my parents this in like 3 days ago. No.
Like a noise, like,
I don't know if
we're just having like revelations, whatever. It's just a thought.
Honestly,
I'm being dead ass though, Like,
this podcast, I can already tell because I'm looking at you thinking that we're high, and I'm sober. I know you're sober too.
I'm sober.
But these are high thoughts.
The high thoughts.
Get high.
Get high. We should roll up.
Let's get high for our next
What do
recording.
we have to lose? For our next what?
Recording. I mean, obviously I have J's on me right now, but that's just me.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe like the noise sensitivity thing. I don't know. I want to be so much more intellectual than I am at the moment. Like, I want to listen to a fuck ton of podcasts and read books and be studious and like have discussions about the fucking Roman Empire. Oh my God. I went to dinner with my Aunt Kim and Uncle Brad, who are like my neighbors from the house that we lived in Atlanta that I grew up in. And my mom never cooked, so I would always go eat food at their house. And like,
you went to Atlanta?
No. They came to New York.
Oh,
Their
those
daughter,
are the white people you were posting about?
Yeah.
I was like, who the fuck are these people here hanging out
Their
with?
daughter is like the mastermind overachiever. She's a paramedic in like this band, something. She plays the French horn. They were playing at Carnegie Hall. Just
that's cool.
randomly. And so they came to watch her performance at Carnegie Hall. So I went. Oh my God, it was amazing. Her name's Lauren. She's just like the perfect child.
Good for her.
And when we were a couple years older than her and growing up, we would be like, don't join the band. Like, don't join the band. It's social suicide. Is what me and my sister would say.
We do like to say that about bands in general.
and my high school, I don't know if anyone knows like Lassiter High School. Like, our band is in the Macy's Day Parade. Like,
Oh, like you guys have a, but so
we-
even then you were saying don't join.
yeah,
band.
we have like it was like an infamous band in Georgia because they win a lot. They have a lot of accolades. They play in the Rose Bowl. They do Macy's Day. Like,
This is sorry, band. I didn't grow
yeah,
up.
like the marching band.
Okay, like we didn't even have that.
Oh, you didn't have that?
No.
Okay, so I was in the orchestra. You pick it in like 6th grade.
Mhm.
When you get to middle school, like part of like the
Scene.
yeah, the scene is like, what are you gonna do? Marching band? Are you gonna do band or are you gonna do orchestra? I picked orchestra. Well, actually, my mom made me pick orchestra because she knew that like if I picked band and I went to high school, that I wouldn't be out there in the heat during the summer trying to march with the marching band. Like the marching band practices
It's year round.
incessantly. They're out there in the summer and the heat and in the winter. You could hear them practicing from like our house. We lived like a mile from the high school.
Who pays for them to come to Macy's?
It's a serious thing.
Does Macy's pay you to be on their parade?
Dude, I don't. It's like you get invited
Mm.
or something. I don't know because
You weren't
joined
in
the
it.
orchestra.
Got it, got
And
it, got
so, yeah, we told her like,
I'm
don't.
sorry. How big was your high school if you had the option to have an orchestra and a band?
I don't.
Like, what was your
Thousands?
graduating class? Do you remember?
My graduating class is like 500 kids,
Oh, that's not huge.
490 something,
Okay.
but I'd say couple thousand.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we told Laura not to join the marching band. She joins the marching band. She loves it. She ends up being a fucking, what's it called when they have a band leader? Conductor. I looked at her mom when she was playing at Carnegie Hall. I was like, thank God
She didn't listen.
she didn't listen to us when we told her not to join the band.
Mm.
But anyway, and Kim and Uncle Brad, I just so happened to like, because I just wanted to test Uncle Brad. I was like, let me just see what this old man knows about the Roman Empire. Like, does he actually, like, do people actually really fucking think about it?
Wait, I actually have, you need to back this up because I cannot for the life of me figure out where this trend came from. Like,
TikTok.
yeah, but why? Like, I need
don't
the
know.
origin of it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Oh, okay.
We don't know.
'Cause I'm, like,
men just sit around and think about the fucking Roman Empire. Yes, apparently.
No way.
They
I don't know
Apparently.
enough men to even poll. But I know Chris.
It's like mostly bullshit, I feel like. But there are some like weird guys I feel like that are kind of
Are you thinking about the Roman Empire?
Not at all.
Have
you
you
know-
recently?
Significant facts about the Roman Empire.
No, not significant ones. I feel like the last time I thought about the Roman Empire was probably the last time like a podcast just asked me this question.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, like I don't remember learning about the Roman Empire like
But
that.
then people are putting like celebrities on a post and saying this is my Roman Empire, and it's like, are these who you is that saying that that's who I'm supposed to be thinking about, or that's who I'm thinking about all the time?
Perhaps like a very monumental event in your life that you always think about.
Oh,
Yeah. But it did start with the literal Roman Empire.
like we've covered that we know zero history. Like we are not the ones for this.
We're not the ones for
I
this.
don't even is like is the Roman Empire like Julius Caesar?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
And like
I honestly have no fucking idea.
is that crazy to even throw in a name?
Julius Caesar.
And you're like, let me tell you, I think of him because of Caesar salad, or like that, but he's not the Caesar salad creator as far as I know.
I can't differentiate between like Greek mythology and like the Roman Empire. Like I don't
Yeah, that's tough.
know.
You get stuff.
Oh.
I feel like definitely not. The
Is Caesar
salad.
Greek or
Oh, good-
Italian?
good. Let's find out.
Yeah, what
I
origin
feel
is it?
Very dumb.
Yeah,
like
right?
listen,
Like this isn't
the Roman.
common
Here's
everyday
the crazy
information.
thing. Like I was an art history major. Like I literally had to know this shit.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I retained none of that, but I knew even like I remember studying for those finals, being like, "This is never gonna stick with me."
And
It's
and
still like
here
here we are.
and here we are.
Yeah, he's Roman. I literally have never felt dumber than right now. Like Googling was Caesar Roman is pretty much as dumb as I've ever felt in my entire life.
But did Google autofill it for you, which
Yeah.
means other people have thought
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
so you're
yeah.
not that dumb.
Yeah, but it, like literally right underneath his name it says former Roman dictator. I was just like, yeah.
See, we don't even know what his role was in the Roman Empire.
But who cares?
So anyway, so I'm asking Uncle Brad, and he dead ass looks at me and he goes, "Oh yeah, I think about it at least every day."
No, he's lying.
I
How old
swear,
is he?
I swear to you, he's got to be like 50 something.
Is he Italian?
No, he's white and has the most country accent ever. It's amazing.
What does he think about? Did you ask more questions?
Yes.
Should we get Uncle Brad on the podcast?
Yeah, honestly, yes. Because it was so fascinating that I kept asking more and more. And Kim looks at me and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, well, I have to know. I was like, well, do you know? And she had no idea. I was like, honestly, well, let's just sit back and learn something. And he goes, you know what he goes? He says that he's like, well, I think about it honestly because I just see a lot of similarities between the fall of the Roman Empire and the United States. So then I said, oh, okay, well, like elaborate for me, like line the events up for me. He went into a full fucking detail. And then his son, Braden.
Let me just tell you, my head is still trying to wrap around that sentence that you just said.
Exactly. I know. And then Braden's 22. And
who's Braden?
Their son.
Okay.
Braden's so smart also. And he's like chiming in about, I'm going to butcher this, about how they transferred information. Girl, you know what? I can't even do it.
You know the meme with like the numbers?
The numbers? No, literally me. Because they're talking about stuff where I'm like, I looked at Braden and I was like, he's 22. I was like, how do you know this?
Because it's fresher for him. That's all it is.
And I was like, but I don't feel like we ever learned about this in detail. And he was like, oh, well, I read about this stuff. And I was like, okay.
For fun?
Yeah, probably. Like, they're so smart. And so they're just like history nerds, but it's like.
Can I ask you, like, you said you wanted to be more intellectual. I totally get that because it's like, what is going to catch if you ask me to listen to a 10-part podcast about Beyonce, I'll listen to it no problem, right?
Yeah.
If you ask me to listen to one 10-minute episode about the Roman Empire, I'm not listening.
Like referencing historical events, can't do it.
Here's a historical event when Beyonce announced her pregnancy on the MTV Music Awards. That's historical.
Pop culture historical events are a lot different from like world history. I think it's kind of, but also at the same time, I obviously I'm biased, but like, is this like an American issue? Because I do feel like everyone else in other parts of the world knows American history like the back of their hand.
I just wonder
if we don't know history.
We don't know if Julius Caesar
really,
is
honestly,
Roman.
I only know minimal things about like the USSR and like.
Don't even.
No, that was it.
But I feel like if it was relevant, it would be on Instagram. Like, where do I get my news?
Past.
I get my news Instagram
They're
and TikTok.
Past events. They're not current events.
Yeah, but like, there's always room for knowledge.
Although I have like the current events now, I am trying to pay more attention to. I am trying to pay more attention to because that will soon be a historical event. To be honest, we've lived through quite a lot of like.
We lived through, I was going to say through an apocalypse. That's not true. But what I'm trying to say was quarantine.
I was like, what's the apocalypse?
Like
we had a pandemic.
That is
fucking crazy. Like imagine
like the famine.
Telling our stories. Like we have like a potato famine.
But like.
Like imagine us recounting these stories to our kids. But actually now that I think about it, I'm like, well, our kids even ask us about this shit? Because I feel like I should have asked my grandparents about a bunch of shit, and I didn't. Well, I was stupid. I didn't know. You know? We lived through, first black president, pandemic, a Trump presidency, a Palestine and Israel,
living,
the Hamas, current.
We had the war on terror. 9/11. We had 9/11.
Well, I was in kindergarten. I don't really remember a lot of that. What?
I just forget sometimes. Like, I have the most distinct memory of 9/11.
Where were you when 9/11 happened?
I was at school.
How old were you?
I was already in school. I was in 4th grade. They like called an assembly and school got let out early, which like never happens. And then on top of, so I was like, something's up.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got home and my mom was home and my mom's never home.
Same.
My mom never leaves work, like ever. She does not leave the office. And like she doesn't come home before like 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, I don't know, 1 p.m. or something. And my mom is sitting there like it's nothing. And so I was like, somebody died.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Like
what is happening for my mom to be home? And then that's when it was like all revealed. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah. I was in kindergarten. I do remember it coming, like they turned on the TV. We got let out of school early, and my mom was also home, which was so weird because she was never home. And yeah, that's really it. Can't tell you much after that. Like,
Yeah, I actually want. This is something I could talk. My sister's your age,
mm-hmm.
and I never even thought about her experience.
Yeah.
I don't think she was quite in kindergarten yet.
Yeah, I do remember like my parents trying to explain like a terrorist attack. Yeah, but you're like, what?
Well, I also remember like going to school the next day, and this one girl in particular in my class like could not keep it together. She was just like crying all day long, and I was like confused by her reaction. And I was like, she must have known someone. I remember trying to ask her, like, who did you know? Or like, what is going on? She was like, this is just so upsetting.
Yeah.
And I couldn't like, I didn't have the wherewithal to be that like, I was like,
You
clearly
couldn't
something is
empathize.
wrong. But I
Yeah.
was like, it's not making me cry. Like I couldn't get it at that age.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so we've lived through quite a lot. 2020.
You didn't even talk about like
George
Floyd.
Well, that's what I was
that
about to
in
get into.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
2020, George Floyd. That being like the pandemic and like another like one of the other biggest civil rights movements in America. I'm curious as to how it's going to be written in textbooks. Will it be whitewashed? Will it be recounted in a way?
Here's the thing. I assume it's going to be whitewash. That's just like how that's
Yeah.
how I got a lot of my history growing up.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I'd like to be like, we need more people of color telling these stories, I'm not going to step up and do it. Like, I think it's just like, I'm just like, damn, that sucks. And I kind of move on.
I mean, well, it's
like, what if I started being more active about what I actually believe in?
Yeah, but I just think like,
well, where
what
would
does
I
that
begin?
look like? Yeah, where would you start? What does that look like?
I feel like I would probably start with like trans rights.
Yeah, no, but I mean in the essence of like, in what format?
I don't know. Like, how do you show up as an ally these days? Or, I mean, I've thought about a lot of this, even with everything going on with Hamas and Palestine and Israel, all of that. And it's like, how do you show up properly in these moments?
Right.
I don't have the answer.
I don't have the fucking answer either.
Right.
How do you choose? Is this stupid?
It just feels again like a high thought, and again we're sober.
So the Caesar salad was invented in Mexico. It was invented in Mexico actually by a man named Caesar Cardini.
Wait,
he was an Italian chef.
Yes.
He went to you know this?
Yes.
Wait, well, keep going because I like know.
He was an Italian chef. He moved down to Mexico to avoid prohibition. I just looked this up. It's this thing called Google. Because after the Julius Caesar thing, I was like, I have to learn something of some sort of value. I have to rebound. But yeah, so that's the story.
So a guy who lived in Mexico, an Italian who moved to Mexico.
Yeah.
To escape prohibition.
Yeah, he was trying to get drunk.
Yo, imagine people like the government saying no fucking alcohol and everyone just like retaliating. They're moving. They're leaving the country. They don't even have fucking planes, but they're leaving the country. That's how much they desired to drink alcohol.
Yeah, I can't.
Was there something more to prohibition other than just alcohol? You know?
I will do my best.
But what led?
No, keep going. Let's just fucking do it. Just fucking commit. Just fucking do it.
Why? Like, what was it that led to prohibition to begin with?
Right. Like, why was alcohol so fucking bad?
Was it that people were acting up?
Yeah, like, what? Like, were there other drugs? Like, what drugs did they have back then?
Everything.
Okay, so then compared to what we have now?
I feel like,
you ever heard of opium?
Yes, like poppies.
Yeah. Where's that? We don't do that anymore.
But opium is in poppies, right? Isn't opium in opioids? See, I have just said like so many things today that I just know.
Opium and opium. Honestly, don't fucking.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, come on, Chris.
Okay, so it started in 1917 after the United States entered World War I. President Woodrow Wilson instituted a temporary wartime prohibition in order to save grain for producing food. So I think that kind of set the stage. And then there were a bunch of religious
so there was a
groups
grain
and stuff.
Shortage.
Yes, and then I think it really started like prohibition in the 1920s, but I'm still reading. I'm reading the entire
Hey,
article.
Okay,
this is
is
now
good.
a
Maybe you should send us that link.
This is now a historical podcast.
Yes.
We will be covering past history.
Here's the
This
thing.
is a social
The
studies
best type
class.
of history, past history. Good
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah. Fuck. This is social studies class. Welcome. Zira and Maya are not the teachers, but Chris, he could be.
Yes. Yes, he could be. Google is our teacher, and yeah. Okay. You know, I was gonna actually start with this prompt because I wanted to. But I feel like because we've been talking about laws and all that stuff, what would you like if there were a purge? If the purge was being announced, like no laws, a lawless land for 24 hours.
Okay.
What are you doing?
The purge, like when they kill everyone.
Well, you don't have to choose murder as your
Okay.
thing. Like, what's something illegal that you want to do? Do you really have any desires?
Oh my god, I'm like, wow, do I have any illegal thoughts?
Like, you know how I get like reckless at times?
Yeah.
I don't even really think there's something I would do.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The first thing that came to my mind, like robbing a
Robbing.
shoe store.
So I thought about clothes too.
Yeah, like I thought about clothes. Like I'm going to get shoes and clothes.
I was honestly thinking Costco, like robbing Costco would like, because they have everything.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine if you just like left with like a full freight truck from Costco?
Wow, that never really crossed my mind. My next thought was like hair, robbing the hair store. I would go and get a bunch of hair.
So
weaves.
basically, we would just start robbing places.
People are doing like all of this right now.
Yeah, like
Yeah, but they're
and
getting in trouble.
Yeah,
I
they're
guess.
The point is that we don't want to get in trouble.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
We are
don't-
not built for jail. Look at us.
Yeah, and I don't. My
We're
conscience.
obviously not smart enough
like-
for jail. Like, let's just be honest here.
My consciousness is just my conscience would just like eat me alive. If it's a lawless land, then I'm not doing any wrong. I'm just kind of existing in a lawless land. And
Okay, I have to tell this story because when I was like a kid growing up, maybe like 15, there was a pair of jeans at Kohl's that I really, really wanted. Actually, that's a lie. I didn't want the jeans. I wanted the belt on the jeans. But you know when jeans used to come with belts?
candies.
Probably.
Yeah.
From Kohl's, it had to be,
It had to be
right?
candies.
Yes.
Yeah, it had to be
Had to be.
candies.
Liked the belt. Loved the belt. Needed the belt.
It was clear, wasn't it?
I don't know what. I can't remember. But didn't want the pants.
Right.
So then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm stealing the belt.
Oh wow.
So I like took the belt off the pants.
Mm-hmm.
I put the belt in my bag. And I literally had a full-on breakdown in Kohl's as a child because I couldn't
You
bring
were
myself to leave.
You were with your parents,
Yeah.
and so you're just crying because you couldn't leave with this belt. Do they? And they don't know you have this belt.
No. And I just like went back and put it back silently because I couldn't even walk out the door with the belt. And I think about that belt all the time.
Wow.
Because like who's really gonna lose? Like who's looking for that belt? Nobody.
Well, you never really know. They could have. Did you put it in your bag in the dressing room? Like, were you
Yes.
sly about it?
Totally.
You're a good kid, my Allen. You were a good kid.
But that's like so lame. You know, I should have taken that fucking belt. Like I'm mad at myself.
Okay, well, one time I went to the zoo on a class trip. My mom only gave me like a couple dollars.
Mhm.
We go to like the souvenir shop at the zoo. You know those little fans that everyone like they had those little fans that everyone just
Yeah.
fucking had. And that fan was like $5, but I only had 3.
Yep.
So I stole it. I put it in I was wearing a sweatshirt. I put it in my sweatshirt. And my friend's mom was the chaperone. Yeah, and I just like walked out. We got on the bus. And I remember I was like getting something out of my pocket and the fan came out and we were like sitting in the seats on the bus and her mom's like, "Where did you get that?" And I was like, so basically I stole it. She told the teacher. I got in trouble.
Wait. You snitched on yourself?
I honestly don't
Did you say
remember.
I stole it?
I don't remember honestly, but they knew I fucking stole
So
it.
they just knew you didn't have $2 extra. What if your friend gave you $2?
Because I think I had like probably been like, I don't have enough money for this. Like, can I have $1? Can I have $1?
Oh,
No
and
one.
then no one.
Yeah, and then yeah. And so yeah, told my teacher. So then I got a note written home, and then I had to show that note to my mom so that she could get it signed. Do you know that my punishment was And my dad came up with the punishment, so it was even stupider that I had to fucking. It was one weekend when he came. Why are you laughing?
That is one of the funniest things you've ever said.
So
first of all, stupider is not a word, is
whatever.
it? Is stupider a word? Please.
Yes, it is. Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider.
Oh, you're right. You're
Okay.
right. I'm sorry.
So.
I can't wait to look this up now.
Wait, you don't know that?
Yeah, I know.
No.
You like talked about it like it was like Merriam-Webster. or
Yeah,
something.
it's
She's
dude.
like, duh.
It's an Urban Dictionary though. Go to Urban Dictionary.
They
And
are real words, but that is a real word.
stupider.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Fuck
Sierra.
yeah!
I stand
Let's
corrected.
go. Let's go.
One for Sierra.
Give it
Yeah.
up.
I do think that at the end of the year, I was writing down some like codependent year-end things, and one of them is like 10 words that we want to introduce to the dictionary.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we got to get on that.
Yeah, we should come out with a dictionary.
And our playlist is coming.
Yes, hold tight on that. So anyway, my dad goes and stops by CVS on the way to dropping me to my mom's house. And basically my punishment is that every night I have to write 100 times, I will not steal or I will go to jail. 100 100 times.
For how long?
Oh God,
Infinity?
I don't know, but it was weeks. This went on for weeks.
I never understood who came up with that punishment.
I don't know either. And you know what? Did I steal again after that? No.
You said no?
No,
I thought you were gonna
I
say
did
yes.
not.
I, was
I
hoping you
did
said
not.
yes.
I had to sit there every night and write that. And my parents were divorced. So like my mom would call my dad, I think, and tell him that I
did
like,
the writing.
That I did the writing. I'm like, oh my, it was such an ancient society back then.
Okay, I don't understand how that became like a punishment for a child. I'd like to speak to whoever decided the first time that made sense. The second thing that I've been thinking about a lot is whoever decided like when you're mad to throw something. Like where did that start? Was
That feels more natural than writing down.
But was that
like,
depicted in a movie and then people started doing it? I have a friend who
you don't feel like
recent-
that's like a natural instinct
No,
that just came
not for
to
me.
me to throw something?
Not for me. Like I would never think to like punch a wall, throw something.
Well, punching a wall seems a little bit irate,
but like
throwing
people
something,
do that.
Yeah, no, yeah, they do, but throwing something seems more natural.
Okay, so I have a friend that just got into a really bad fight with her husband, and she said she ended up throwing her wine glass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what you're talking to me, I get it.
Okay, I forget. Like at the minute it
I
came out
get
my
it,
mouth, I
yeah.
was like, "Oh, I'm sitting with someone who throws wine glasses."
Unfortunately, I get it. Yeah.
Okay, you
We
want
got
one more
5
banger?
Yeah, one more.
All right, let me pull up something a little lighter.
Yeah, Jesus.
Okay, let me ask you this: if one of our mutual friends told you that they saw me out, me Maya,
Mm-hmm.
on a Friday night acting crazy, okay,
Mhm.
what would you immediately assume I was doing?
Somewhere with a guy somewhere. Like,
Wow.
yeah. What?
Most times you say I can't even get a man. Now you're saying I'm doing something
No,
crazy with
my
a guy.
God, I never fucking. It was a weird wording. No, but you're definitely doing something with some type of some guy somewhere, something crazy. You're
Like
drinking
what?
tequila. I don't even know what you're doing, but you're loud and you're boisterous, rambunctious, and like knocking shit over.
like not on purpose.
None of it's on purpose.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. And like, yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
For me, you'd be talking with your hands fighting about like something like that literally no one needs to be fighting about at 1 a.m.
Something like political.
Like, yeah, usually political. I was going to say maybe slavery. Because that is a trigger one for you. You will get going at 1 a.m.
No. Okay, wait, really quickly before we wrap this up, please tell the story of us at that wine bar.
Listen, this was years ago. I was
This
still
was
with Oliver.
2 years ago.
We
yes.
went, it was like a Sunday, I think. We went to watch football. We were like, we're already hanging out, doing the wings football thing, having a decent time. Oliver brings his weird fucking friend
What
around
was that
us.
man's name?
Like Chauncey or something.
Just something crazy.
Chisholm.
Chisholm.
Good.
Chisholm.
Put
that
his
was
name
it.
out there.
Yes, Chisholm.
Put his
I
fucking
was
name
like,
out there.
I was like, how the fuck am I sitting here arguing with a man named Chisholm?
right?
Like, where do we even find you at?
Like, right. So then we end up at this wine bar. We had just really sat down.
Yeah.
I don't really remember how it happened. I thought we were talking about
I know
reparations.
I know how it happened, but
Go ahead. You tell the story.
No. Keep going.
Why?
Nothing, because I just had a thought in my head.
I think you remember it better than I do because I wasn't even in the full
Were we talking
conversation.
about reparations to
I
start
want
out
to say
with?
we were talking about reparations and like just so you understand the dynamic. It's Sierra and I. We are black women. Oliver is a black
Man, and
I'm
then
gonna
we
call
have
him
this
a man,
white
but you
man
can call him
named
a
Chisholm.
dog or whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
and
We have a dog and then a white man named Chisholm trying to tell us about. You know what the straw was? The straw was when he was like, "Well, black people had slaves too," and I said,
I actually do remember that.
and
I do
we
remember that.
lost our fucking minds. Okay, first of all, this man tried to say, "Well, you guys kind of already got reparations." I said, "Where?" I said, "Where? Where the fuck is my fucking mule? Where? And my 40 fucking acres, bitch. Where? Because I'm trying to find out."
Listen, I would have my mule parked outside my terrace every day. I would be like, I got mine.
I
would
would
be
still
known.
have that fucking mule.
With,
I'm still
with a
looking for,
really cute collar.
looking for my land.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, in what way? So then he tries to break down. Remember when we had the debate about sweet potato pie versus pumpkin pie?
Yes.
Oh, you know what it was about Chisholm? He thought he was from Louisiana.
Yes.
So he thought that he
knew
could
black people.
relate.
Yes.
He was like, yeah, no, sweet potato pie. I said, oh, you do? Okay.
He was actually like trying to teach me how to cook something Southern at one point. And I was like, sir.
Where I'm like, honey.
Boy, bye. Go home to your wife.
Wrong. Yeah, like, you want to relate? You want to be Southern? Okay, cool. Sweet potato pie. Okay, cool. Slavery, wrong every fucking time. Trying to talk about, oh, you guys kind of already had reparations. Well, black people had slaves too. At one point, I looked at him. I said, isn't your fiance at home? You should go visit her because she wanted you home for dinner at a certain time.
She was asking for him to go home 3 hours.
3 hours ago. You have overstayed your welcome. Get out of here.
And he did.
I mean, towards the end of that conversation, yeah, we were ripping him. Well, it was mainly I think I was ripping him.
You started the fight. You started the fight. I was actually just trying to like have a glass of wine type of thing.
Yeah.
Chat. I was talking to a friend that worked at the bar as well. So it's like we're doing a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And then like as I'm talking to this guy, I keep hearing slavery, reparations. I'm hearing words like buzzwords. And I'm like, excuse me for a minute. I think I need to go join this conversation.
You're not
Sierra
wrong.
is
knee deep.
Knee deep. It's like a dumb hour on a Sunday night. Everyone should have gone home at that point. Chisholm
Yeah.
had to get the fuck out.
Chisholm could not have left faster. Honestly, he should have left sooner.
And
Earlier.
then remember the apology text he sent?
No.
He sent like a follow up to Oliver, like, sorry if I said too much about slavery. And we were like, oh, really? Like, that's where he
I
draws
was
the
like,
line?
well, where's my text? What the fuck? And then we told him, we were like, don't you ever bring that man around us again.
And we never saw him again. Okay, you feel good ending there now?
Yeah, good times. All right, guys.
Where can they follow
That was
us?
a little chaotic. All of this was chaotic, but follow us on Codependence 2_, and we will see you guys next week. Holy shit. That was chaotic.
I loved it.